Yo, so if you smoke weed every day and you want to make a change, then you're in the right place and you're watching the right video. Because I was in the same place for years, like years, more than I wanted to be. And it was pretty early on in my spiritual journey when I had a spiritual awakening. I knew it wasn't good for me, but I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the knowledge, the wisdom. I did not have it in me. I was addicted. I was looking for escape through smoking weed. I was addicted to the high. I was using it to chain more vices on me. You know, it just brought me to a relationship with women that it's not that the person was bad, but they weren't good for me, and the relationship wasn't good for me. And it was bringing me mentally into different places that I had no business being at. And again, if you're watching this video, then you're probably in the same boat, or in a boat that looks similar. You can relate to this. And you feel stuck, you feel ashamed, you feel pain. Again, this is all mental, spiritual, and physical. You feel pain, like you want to change. You know that you have a greater calling. And I was in disbelief. I was like, yo, like there's no way that I see all these things in my head. I see myself doing all these great things. I see myself going into places, yet I'm over here stuck every day, literally stuck. And the truth is that I was numb, and it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter if I stopped for a day, if I stopped for 2 days, if I stopped maybe for a week. And this was like early on. This was like 2020, 2021, 2022. When I was probably around the same age, because I aged with the year. So, I was in my early 20s trying to figure this out, relying on my own strength. And it didn't matter what I did. Like I said, I was in the gym 7 days a week. I was in the gym 7 days a week. I lost a lot of weight, and it wasn't good for me. So on one end, like my body was looking better, but on the other end, dude, I was broken. I was depressed, and I was digging myself in a deeper hole. I was angry at my situation. I was frustrated at others, and I wasn't pointing the finger. I was internalizing everything, and I was just like, internally, I was like a ticking time bomb. And I'm reaching out there trying to find, I'm trying to find outlets. I'm trying to find things to plug into that could maybe filter out the pain that I was feeling in. And again, because I was doing it on my own strength and I was doing it by myself, it would just lead me back to the same place: broken, addicted, chained, at the dispensary, buying from the plug on the street, which was dangerous. It's dangerous. It's not the safest thing where I'm from, because they be doing all kinds of things to the drugs. And plus, smoking in general just disconnects you from source. It disconnects you from higher frequencies and higher consciousness and higher ways of thinking. It really puts you and for some people would argue that. And I understand that, but like I totally get that, because I know that there's benefits and stuff like that, and I've seen benefits, but the benefits just didn't outweigh the cons for me. And I didn't come here, like, I know that my calling was not to be like that, and I know a lot of people's callings is not to be like that. So the truth is about weed and how it disconnects you from source, and it disconnects you from God, and it really sends you on a decline, because one, it's a tactic of the enemy. It's a spiritual warfare. It's a spiritual battle. It's a tactic. They know what your body, what your flesh, and what your mind and your spirit, when it's weak, the enemy knows what it craves. The enemy knows you. Like, you know yourself like the back of your hand. Like, it knows everything about you. It's a deceiver. It's lying to you. It's telling you things in your ear, and you think you want to hear them. And that's how you get chained back up, and that's how you get dragged back in. You know what I'm saying? So it's complete spiritual warfare, and it's psychological completely. Your mind and your brain is playing tricks on itself because that's what you believe. That's the ceiling that you set for yourself. And if you live like that every day and you don't think that things can get better and you think that this is the way that it's always going to be, then you're doing yourself a disadvantage because that's what the enemy wants. And that's not relying on your higher power. That's not relying on God. That's not relying on Christ. That's not relying on what you believe in. You're doing it by yourself, like I was. You're doing it by yourself. And you're just going to get you back to the same place. You're going to be chained up, boy. You're going to be chained up. But another truth is, the truth is actually, is that you don't have to stay like that forever. That's when, like, you start to see the light a little bit, is that you don't have to stay like that forever. Things don't have to be that way forever. And if you want to change, you can do it at the snap of a finger. You can literally change your perspective. It's about the way you internalize things, and it's about the way, well, there's many factors to it, but it really is about perspective. You have to change your perspective. You have to be willing to put in work. You have to be willing to endure, and you have to have faith in yourself. You have to be willing to put in the work. That's the thing. A lot of people are not willing to put in the work because it seems hard. It seems hard. Like, it seems hard to go a day without doing the things that you think brings you peace. The thing that you think, the thing that you think brings you pleasure. It's hard to let alone go a week, let alone to go months, to go a year without doing it, you know? Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I don't just have to hear it from people and see it on the internet. I've seen it. I see it every day, and I've seen it every day for my entire life. I've seen people be a slave to this thing. My family, I've seen people suffer from this thing, and they act like it's okay, and it's not. And it's not. It's a cultural thing, but you and I and the people fighting this thing and trying to help people heal and all this, we weren't made to be in that culture. We weren't made to be of the world. We were made to be, separate and set apart for a time like this. So it's a shift. It's a shift in perspective. It's a shift in mind. Your spirit has to rise. It's a lot of spiritual work, or as they say, shadow work. You got to pray through it. It's a lot of work. But also not having that perspective shift just delays. It delays your blessings. It delays progress. So even on the darkest, most broken days, you have to have faith. You have to be willing to rise every single time you go down. And that's the shift. And then after that comes the action. How much action are you willing to take? How much action are you willing to take when you get a craving? When you're in a place where it's completely unavoidable and the intrusive thoughts start to come in, you smell this. Dude, I was going to the gym 7 days a week, and let's say I went a week without smoking, or I went a couple of days without smoking. Dude, I'd be going to the gym, walking in from the parking lot, and the smell would just hit me like a brick. I knew what it was. And I knew whose tactic that was. And obviously back then I was weak. I was weak in myself. I didn't have the power. Nowadays it's different. It's different. I went through a lot to get to where I am right now. But obviously I didn't have the wisdom and I didn't have the strength to take proper action. So it's like, are you going to take the proper action? Do you know what action to take? Do you know what to do? Do you have a plan? Do you have a protocol? Because if you don't, you're going to end up in the same place. Are you hanging around the same people? It blocks your blessings and it cuts you off. 100%. It's unavoidable. You have to come to the battle. Don't wait for the battle to come to you. You go and confront that battle. And you know, you have to realize it's not the end of the world. Everybody battles with the vice. There's people that seem perfect on the outside, but they're dirty. Some people are rotten on the inside, and they talk all big, and you know, and they're like, look at me, look at what I did, look at what I did. But they're dealing with something just like you. And just because they have more money and, you know, influence and all these things doesn't mean that they're not going through the same thing. So it's like, time isn't important when it comes to these things, to a degree. But you're talking about your life here. You know, this is like saving your life, you know, and being able to make something out of it. I'm talking to like people that are, you're hopeless right now, and you want to make a change. You want to go from where you are right now because it sucks, and you're broken, and you're defeated, and you're ashamed. It's not too late. It's not too late, and you just gotta lock in. You gotta lock in for weeks. You gotta lock in for months. And that's what it is, man. So if you want to see more of these videos, don't hesitate to let me know, and give my other ones a watch. It'll let me know that y'all like these videos. So, you know, be blessed, and deuces.